Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Jenny here, back at it with part 2 of creating a character design sheet for my best girl Selene. No time lapse in this video, but I am drawing the line art for her second action pose, which will be her in the midst of casting a spell using her tarot deck. As you can see, I am using myself as a reference for this pose because I wanted to personalize this a little more and I wasn't really able to find anything online to use as a reference. If you guys haven't seen part 1 of this video, Selene's first action pose is her using her bow staff. So I wanted to take the time to showcase her other weapon of choice, which is her tarot deck. It didn't really occur to me until a few years back that she has pretty much the same weapons as Gambit from X-Men, which is really cool. I'm looking at her character doc right now, and I see that I have yet to flesh out what her go-to cure for a bad day would be. If I'm sitting here trying to come up with headcanons for her, I think she'd probably want to spend a lot of time alone because she's used to being by herself. Probably turn on some music and tune out the world. Maybe take a really nice nap. I'd imagine she'd probably indulge in some vices because at least in the beginning of AMP, she lives a life that's very much focused on instant gratification rather than putting in a little bit of effort and attention into addressing the root of the emotion rather than just alleviating the symptoms. I'm still in the developmental stages of AMP, but there's a lot of things about her characterization that I really want to get right. Part of which is making sure that I showcase her in a light where the readers can see that she's not the best person in the beginning of AMP, but develops in a believable and natural way. So for this character design sheet, I wanted to make some callouts of her tattoos. In the inspo for the tattoos, I wanted to give it sort of like an indigenous feel of the country that she lives in, which is Cape Velias. Definitely a country that is rooted more in tradition, such as its reliance on magic versus tech. I also forgot to include her crescent moon tattoo, so I had to put that on the first character pose as well. I'm just drawing in some details for her hair right now, which I think just helps it look really nice and wavy. I tend to give a lot of OCs, at least in the past, more straight hair. So I wanted to do something different with Selene. I'm going in and cleaning up the line art for the body, because as we can see, this line art is actually starting to come together. So whenever I get to that point in the process where I can start to erase certain layers, that's when I know I'm coming to an end with this very long yet rewarding work that I'm doing right now, which took about 15 hours from start to finish. I'm making some adjustments to the tarot cards just to make sure that the perspective was giving. At first, I was going to leave the cards blank, but I wanted to take this time to brainstorm ideas for designs on the back of the tarot cards. So, after doing a little bit of thinking and Googling, I decided I was going to include some sacred geometry. One of the themes in AMP is the spiritual world and the physical world are connected. Everything that takes place in the physical domain is reflected in the spiritual domain. So I'm creating Selene's tarot deck case, and it didn't really dawn on me until I started drawing it out that she is gonna have to have it on her somewhere if she's gonna use it during combat. And that's when I realized this is gonna have to replace the thigh bag that I drew for her, which honestly served absolutely no function. I just drew it initially because it looked cool, but in my mind she could use it for something. It's just, it wouldn't be practical for her to use it for her cards because there's a zipper, so she'd have to unzip it, take the cards out. It was a whole thing. So I did a redesign of the bag. I also did a slight redesign to the ends of her bow staff. I just thought it looked really cool if instead of having crescent moons around the middle star, to erase it inside and then just have little tiny stars in the negative space. So right now I am picking out colors to create the color palette for Selene. The picture that I have inserted is from her first character design sheet without any line art. That's why it looks a little different. But I just wanted to put the color palette in here for ease. But yeah, this wow, has been a process. 15 hours later, the line art is finally done. And I have to say, it's been really rewarding seeing this vision of my main character come to life. I think I was able to capture her personality through the choice of clothing, colors, and her weapons. And I'm honestly really pleased with what I've come up with so far, and I don't think I'll be making any more tweaks to her outfit and her character design, which I'm pretty pleased about. So I do hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, learning a little bit more about her, as well as listening to the artistic process behind this character design sheet. And I think for my next video, I'm going to be working on another character design sheet for Akira, or I'm going to color this one and show you guys that process. I'm not quite sure yet, but I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to catch you guys for my next one. So until then, take care y'all. Bye!